High in the Himalayan mountains of India, there lies a frozen body of water called Roopkund Lake. For centuries, locals avoided it, whispering that it was cursed. Because when the ice melts, hundreds of human skeletons rise to the surface, staring blankly into the sunlight before melting away again. In the early days, nobody dared venture close. But when British officials stumbled upon it in the 1940s, they were horrified to see skulls cracked open as if smashed from above. There were no weapons nearby, no signs of battle or struggle. Only fractured bones staring out of the ice. At first, the lake was ignored. It wasn't until 1976 that scientists began excavating the site. What they found was so strange it would become known as the mystery of the Himalayas. So how did these people die? And who were they? Welcome to our channel where we bring you the most mysterious and frightening stories from around the world. Some of the deadliest mysteries never get solved, but these unsolved cases are always fascinating. And some have been puzzling authorities for thousands of years. Today, we're going to explore one of the scariest unsolved mysteries in the world. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to join us for new videos every week. As the ice thawed, dozens of bodies came floating to the surface. At first, scientists thought they had stumbled across the resting place of a long-lost pirate fleet. But they soon realized these were human. In total, 360 skeletons were recovered, belonging to men, women, and even children. Every skull bore the same wound, as if they were struck down mercilessly by an invisible force from the sky. So who were they? And how did they die? The team unearthed medieval sandals, pieces of clothing and ornaments, proving the skeletons dated back to the 9th century. They also discovered ancient campsites nearby, suggesting the group had been traveling through the mountains when disaster struck. Some believe the group could have been pilgrims journeying to the sacred Hindu sites of Badrinath and Hemkund Sahib. This was a common route during the warmer months, but nobody could explain why they would be caught in a storm. According to legend, the group was taking shelter near Roopkund when a sudden storm of giant hailstones rained down from the sky. In an instant, the hailstones crushed their bones, freezing them where they stood. Their bodies were preserved in the ice, perfectly capturing the moment the hailstones struck them down. Their timeless expressions of terror would be frozen in their sockets for 900 years until the ice thawed and their bones cracked open. This may sound like an old wives' tale, but hailstorms are no laughing matter in the Himalayas. For centuries, villagers told stories of massive hailstones smashing through roofs, crushing livestock and killing villagers where they stood. They knew firsthand the destructive power of nature in this unforgiving landscape. But such a large group of people could not have been taken by surprise. Surely someone would have seen it coming, yet no warning signs were found, no shutters built to protect from falling rocks or hailstones. They were simply caught off guard. What is certain is that they died violently, perhaps suddenly, which prevented them from protecting themselves. But why, and how did the skulls fit into the mystery? Each skull was shattered in the same way, showing clear signs of blunt impact. This would suggest a natural occurrence like a landslide or a sudden hailstorm. To this day, nobody can be sure exactly what happened. It took a lot of work to remove the ice-blocking access to the lake, but in 2010, researchers finally uncovered more clues. Underneath the water, they found thousands of pebbles and boulders, each weighing around 2 kilograms. To make matters even stranger, microscopic analysis revealed the rocks were not local. Instead, they had come from miles away, carried by a freak hailstorm. Scientists now believed that the group had been crushed by an unprecedented hailstorm, so powerful that it dislodged rocks and hurled them through the air. But this raised another question. Why were the wounds identical? Each person was hit on the exact same spot, right above their left eye. Why? At first, researchers believed the holes were made after death by curious animals trying to gnaw through the skull for a tasty brain snack. But they soon realized the damage was consistent with hailstones. If the hailstones were this big, why wouldn't they have killed everyone? Again? According to legend, the hailstones were about 5 centimeters wide, large enough to crush a man's chest, but not his head. Perhaps those sheltering near the lake were already injured or trapped, making them easier targets for the giant projectiles. It's impossible to say for sure. What scientists do know is that a freak hailstorm could have easily caused such devastation. Hailstones the size of softballs have been recorded in the area, capable of smashing bones and killing livestock. These ancient people would have stood no chance. It's easy to imagine how the hailstones could have smashed their skulls with deadly accuracy, as if a giant hand was reaching down from heaven to smite them one by one. So does this mean the mystery has been solved? Not quite. While the hailstones certainly played a part, it doesn't explain why so many people died with identical wounds. Almost everyone died standing upright, as if they had tried to flee the hailstorm, only to be hit at the same point. Could this have been an act of God? Was it divine retribution? Some believe the group had angered the gods and been punished. Others argue there must have been an earthquake, causing the rocks to rain down from above. But if this was the case, shouldn't the lake have been filled with earth and rock? Yet all they found were tiny pebbles, too small to cause such damage. Whatever the reason, it seems that their only crime was sheltering in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe they should have known better than to seek refuge at the cursed lake. But what happens now? Should you visit Roopkund today? You might want to think twice. Some say the spirit of the lake is restless, and anyone who dares disturb its waters will pay the price. Legends tell that when the ice melts, the ghosts of the hailstorm rise to the surface and wander the earth. When the winds pick up at night, the mountain sings with an eerie sound like stones hammering against bone. Sometimes when the ice begins to thaw, a pale face drifts just beneath the water, staring upward, waiting for the next storm. They call it the Lake of Skeletons, and the dead still wait beneath the ice. So would you dare take the risk? Today, trekkers speak of strange occurrences at the lake. Most claim nothing unusual happened, but some have experienced unexplainable events. One photographer recalled an eerie blue light coming from the lake at night, while others reported shadowy figures lurking in the mist. One trekker saw a woman's face staring directly at him, beckoning him closer. While he couldn't see her body, another visitor spotted a skeleton lying nearby, almost as if it had risen from the lake to greet him. As darkness fell, the temperature plummeted and the wind whipped across the barren land. Suddenly, the ground beneath them began to shake, and the hair on their necks stood on end as a deep voice echoed over the mountains. It seemed to be calling out, desperate for help, trapped inside the lake. Then, just as quickly as it started, it stopped. In the morning, they found strange markings carved into the rocks nearby, depicting human faces contorted in terror. One showed a figure being struck by a bolt of lightning, while another depicted a hailstorm the size of houses barreling toward them. So is there any truth to these legends? Have the restless spirits of the hailstorm been trapped inside the lake for 900 years? According to reports, the lake has claimed several victims. Over the years, several trekkers have disappeared after venturing too close to the lake. Some say their souls are now trapped inside, wandering endlessly until they find peace. Others believe the lake simply doesn't want to be disturbed. Every year, more skeletons are uncovered, reminding us of the tragedy that befell them. So when the ice melts, hundreds of faces stare sightlessly into the sun. When the shadows lengthen and the cold winds blow, the dead wait patiently beneath the ice for the next hailstorm to carry them away. The mystery of Roopkund Lake continues to baffle scientists and terrify visitors. But one thing is for sure, these poor souls will never find peace while the ice keeps them trapped beneath the surface. Do you believe the skeletons are cursed? Let me know your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.